Well, good morning. Welcome to Coffee with the Pastor. We're in the book of Acts, and we're in Acts chapter 5. The church is growing, and the people are winning other people to Christ. There's lots of people in Jerusalem becoming Christians. Uh, they're selling their property and their fields and their houses and everything they have, and they're bringing it for the poor. And then we're going to see a couple who are going to lie about it. And it's about Ananias and Sapphira. It's a very interesting passage, and I'd like to read it. It's in Acts chapter 5, beginning with verse 1. Now a man named Ananias, together with his wife Sapphira, also sold a piece of property. With his wife's full knowledge, he kept back part of the money for himself, but brought the rest and put it at the apostles' feet. Then Peter said, Ananias, how is it that Satan has so filled your heart that you have lied to the Holy Spirit and have kept for yourself some of the money you received for the land? Didn't it belong to you before it was sold? And after it was sold, wasn't the money at your disposal? What made you think of doing such a thing? You've not lied to men, but to God. When Ananias heard this, he fell down and died. And great fear seized all who heard what had happened. When the young men came forward, wrapped up his body, and carried him out and buried him, about 3 hours later, his wife came in, not knowing what had happened. Peter asked her, Tell me, is the price you and Ananias got for the land? Yes, she said. That is the price. Peter said to her, How could you agree to test the Spirit of the Lord? Look, the feet of the men who buried your husband are at the door, and they will carry you out also. At that moment she fell down at his feet and died. Then young men came in, and finding her dead, carried her out and buried her beside her husband. Great fear seized the whole church and all who heard about these events. What a story. Ananias and Sapphira was watching all the other Christians, or many of them, sell all their possessions and sell their property and bring it in and sharing it with all those who were in need. We talked yesterday that maybe that wasn't such a good idea, but they were doing it. But the problem with Ananias and Sapphira, they didn't have to do it. They didn't have to sell the property. They didn't have to give it all to the needy. They didn't have to bring it to the church and say, okay, we sold property and sold it for this amount and this is it, and like that. Their problem was they lied about it. They said they sold it for such a price, but then they held back some of the money. And Peter, when he looked at him, said, You've not lied to men, but to God. And what I think had happened is that was such a holy place. I think everybody in the church, everybody in that area was so filled with the Spirit that when you brought in an unholy act, like a lie, it was going to be dealt with. When unholiness came into the place, it was going to be done. And that's what happened with Ananias. He had lied. The Spirit revealed to Peter that he had lied. And Ananias just fell dead. They took him out and buried him. And his wife comes in a few hours later. And Peter asked her what price they sold it for. And she lied too. And she died. And then it said there was great fear among the people. Well, we serve a pretty powerful God. And lying is something that he takes very seriously. And I would suggest that we never try to lie to God. It is just something you can't do. But the other side of the coin is, wouldn't it be great to be among a church that is so holy that anything unholy coming in would just be brought out? That would be pretty amazing. And that's something that I think would be neat. I pray for our new facility that we're at. I pray, I said, may the Spirit of God be so thick here that when people drive by, they'll feel it. Or when they come to the parking lot and get out of the parking lot, they'll feel the Spirit of God there. There's something different. And that's a great thing to have happen. Well, I hope the Holy Spirit goes with you today, wherever you may go. And I hope you have a blessed and great day. And I'll see you tomorrow.